It's the power trying to come back on.
Jurassic Park is a 1993 sci-fi adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg. It follows an attempted launch at a theme park where scientists have found a way to bring dinosaurs back to life. Everything of course goes wrong. Horrifying yet amazing dinosaur action ensues. Everyone knows Jurassic Park. I can't possibly think of a bigger waste of time than introducing Jurassic Park. It's Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is a genuinely fantastic film, in any film terms. The characters are fun to follow, the story and the setting are interesting, the action set pieces are thrilling, and the cinematography and all the technical aspects effective and gorgeous and iconic. Another thing to appreciate in Jurassic Park is its depiction of dinosaurs. I love film and I love dinosaurs. Whenever these two things can be brought together, they should. And Jurassic Park has some of the best dinosaurs in film. The special effects and technical aspects of them still hold up pretty great, and the dinosaurs are always framed in a way to make them appeal wondrous, cute, or scary. Not only do the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park rock in how the film utilizes them, but they also rock in how it presents them. Jurassic Park was the major update for dinosaurs in pop culture at the time. Before Jurassic Park, dinosaurs looked like this, or this. I find these portrayals of dinosaurs charming, they're dated, but there is a charm to them, and I'm sure audiences would have accepted dinosaurs that looked more like these images. But thankfully, Jurassic Park did something more, something infinitely better. And for anyone who had some knowledge of dinosaurs at the time, looking at something like this would have probably felt weird. Don't get me wrong, even at the time Jurassic Park had inaccuracies and very unlikely speculation, but with how much it did right, these inaccuracies were minor. Jurassic Park, to put it crudely, is a movie that had balls. It showed us that the accepted image of dinosaurs is outdated, and what we understand them to be now is something much more amazing. But that was 1993. Jurassic Park is now 28 years old, and so is its understanding of dinosaurs. And as I understand, the franchise is still going. So let's check and see how it has evolved ever since. Oh. Well, okay. Jurassic World is a 2015 sci-fi adventure movie directed by Colin Trevorrow. It's also about a launch of a theme world where the main attraction is some of the same, but also some new dinosaurs. It was massively successful and spawned a sequel with a third one in the works. It's a very similar movie to Jurassic Park, but also isn't. Let me start by saying that this video deals with the dinosaurs of the Jurassic World movies, the two of which are out at the time of writing. I don't as much comment on the quality of the movies themselves. I will say briefly, the movies are mostly fine. I enjoyed the first Jurassic World to an extent, the second one really wasn't for me. I also don't want to insinuate that I think anyone is stupid or wrong for liking these movies. They are very fun and enjoyable, and I understand the appeal. From this point on, unless stated otherwise, I am referring to the dinosaurs and how they appear in the movies and what my problems are, which in summary is they are pretty much the same dinosaurs as in Jurassic Park. Other than the technical upgrade, there isn't any update on these creatures when compared to the ones in the 1993 movie. I am not ignorant, I know why this is. The first Jurassic World is in many ways a remake of Jurassic Park. This is not anything new I would have noticed, nor is it really a flaw in the film. It's what the film sets out to do, it's by design. The dinosaurs follow the same principle. They are what you saw in the original Jurassic Park. This is all deliberate, and the film was a huge success. There's also a handy in-universe explanation for this. Some of these, like the Tyrannosaurus, are the same dinosaurs. You can't redesign them, because this is what the dinosaurs in this universe look like. I accept that this is the case, but I don't have to like it, and I will circle back to this later. They also at one point mentioned that the dinosaurs are made on purpose to look like outdated representations of dinosaurs. The fantasy of our idea of dinosaurs sells better than the reality. This sounds like interesting meta-commentary, and it would be if it went anywhere. As is, it feels more like a cop-out to me than anything else. I said I wouldn't comment on the quality of the film too much, but this is intrinsically tied to the issue of dinosaurs, and would come up inevitably anyways. The films did something completely acceptable and fine by most standards. I don't want to pretend that this is a real problem. I do have genuine problems of representation in film, but they don't usually have to do with dinosaurs. But I guess someone has to concern themselves with dinosaur representation, and I am not a smart enough person to make videos about more serious topics. So let's look at some dinosaur inaccuracies. Jurassic Park got a lot wrong about dinosaurs, mostly because it's an almost 30-year-old movie and they were doing the best they could at the time. And some other things they got wrong because it's a movie and huge raptors and acid-spitting dinosaurs are cool. Jurassic World gets a lot wrong because Jurassic Park got a lot wrong. And in this part, I'll go through some of the inaccuracies that still persist in the films, just to have a baseline understanding of how much we've progressed. or haven't. Also, I guess the imaginary mutant monster mash dinosaurs are exempt from this. What am I gonna say? The made-up dinosaurs are doing the graveyard smash inaccurately? Real dinosaurs didn't follow a laser pointer and attack when a trigger was pulled, at which point it would have probably been more efficient to just load a bullet into that gun than to send an uncontrollable toxic adventure mutant dinosaur after them? I'll double check to make sure, but no, they probably didn't. So other than the gamma-radiated Megasaurus, what are some of the inaccuracies still in the Jurassic franchise? Number 1. Feathers. You can't start the conversation about dinosaur inaccuracies without the biggest and the most obvious one. Most of these creatures had feathers, or more accurately, proto-feathers, an earlier form of feathers. Especially the stars of a lot of these films. The raptors should be covered, not sort of covered. Even these depictions are like a decade old at this point, but full coverage. More like modern day raptors. These creatures not having feathers in Jurassic Park was understandable, even though at the time feathers were already a known thing on some of the species, and something that had become a widely accepted fact in the paleontology circles. The relations of dinosaurs to birds has been long known and is even referenced in Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs have more in common with present-day birds than they do with reptiles. Look at the pubic bone, turned backward, just like a bird. Look at the vertebrae, full of air sacs and hollows, just like a bird. And even the word raptor means bird of prey.
In Jurassic World times, we're way past that. It's been talked about, maybe even confirmed by now, that some feathered dinosaurs will appear in the third Jurassic World movie in 2022. If so, that's cool, but also, in a sense, feels too little too late. Well, not necessarily too little. If they go all out, then that's amazing, and it will be a 10 out of 10 instant classic. They can still have that redemption arc. I just need full plumage.
No more half measures, Walter.
Number 2. Shrink wrapping. Shrink wrapping is a term used to refer to depictions of dinosaurs without any body fat or feathers, where they are literally nothing but bone and muscle, to the point that it's very common to see the very details of their skulls and ribs. This has been a very common thing with dinosaur depictions for decades. It's something that you might not think about too much, but once you do, you can't not notice it. These dinosaurs are so skinny they look like they're starving to me. How many animals in the modern world can you see the shape of their skulls? Almost none of them. They all have fat, skin, fur, feathers, and whatnot over them. Especially birds. Birds have some crazy shit going on. Pretty much the only animals with predictable skulls are crocodilians. This became something of a meme a while back, the animal and how an alien would reconstruct it format, the most famous of which is probably the comparison of the hippo skull to its actual head. That's just bizarre. What a bizarre animal. Having seen some more modern depictions of Tyrannosaurus, it feels weird looking at the one in Jurassic World. It looks so scrawny. And look at the arms of the raptors, nothing but skin and bone. Speaking of arms, number 3, arms. The arms are the wrong way around. This doesn't seem like a big thing, but again, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Having now seen more proper reconstructions of raptors with their hands facing the way they should, this weird Mr. Burns position just looks odd to me. For the record, dinosaurs have their hands in the about to clap position, where their palms face inward. They don't do this for fun, that's just the way their hands are. They physically cannot turn them the way dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, and by extension, Jurassic World, have their hands turned.
Why are you running?
Number 4. Sound. What does a dinosaur sound like? Even more than what did they look like, what they sound like is something we can probably never really know for sure. Did we get it right in 1993 though? In terms of sound design and mixing, absolutely, these dinosaurs sound amazing. That Tyrannosaurus roar is iconic, and I wouldn't have it any other way. In terms of accuracy, not so much. And it's not only that I don't think they happened to not get it right. It's that by the understanding we have today, we pretty much know they didn't even make noises close to in the way they do in the movies. They probably made sounds closer to those of ostriches, pigeons, or this Eurasian bittern. These birds don't have a voice box like mammals, or as many birds do. The oldest known vocal organ of a bird is over 66 million years old, which is still in the same era as dinosaurs. This preserved vocal organ, a syrinx, is absent in non-avian dinosaur fossils, indicating they didn't have one, and that these dinosaurs made closed-mouth vocalizations. Imagine this ostrich sound. but a low, bellowing 12-meter long Tyrannosaurus version. There are some cool videos on YouTube showing possible versions of these, and honestly, they make especially the Tyrannosaurus sound like a thing of nightmares. I think that's cool, preferable even, but honestly, out of all these, I think this is the change that would be the last to happen. Some people have objections to the feathers, if you can believe it. Even if feathered raptors are objectively 1,000 times more radical, I cannot imagine if we tried to take away their roaring dinosaurs. But I can ruin their fun somehow, someday. These are, I would say, the big four, in the order of how major I think the problems are. I would be happy to see all of these updated to the modern age, but if we can at least have our beautiful plumages, then I'd be happy. There are also some individual inaccuracies, like the velociraptors being closer to the real-world size of the Dilophosaurus, and the Dilophosaurus being closer to the real-world size of the velociraptor, and speculative things, like the Tyrannosaurus's vision being based on movement and the acid spitting, that were most likely not true. Tyrannosaurus are speculated to have had pretty amazing vision. They have forward-facing, huge eyeballs, and could probably have relatively clear vision up to 6 kilometers away. That's 3.7 miles to, well, you know who you are. Please note that I am not a paleontologist or a paleobiologist, and you should definitely not just take my word for all of this. I am also a stupid person, and I might have even said something wrong about the modern bird stuff, which is something to take into consideration.
I'm a stupid moron with an ugly face and a big butt, and my butt smells, and I like to kiss my own butt.
One reason I find this a problem, and why it changed, is a personal one. I just don't like looking at these dinosaurs as much, and it would make me light up like a child seeing dinosaurs like these or these in a major motion picture. It would be very personally satisfying. I just think that fully feathered dinosaurs look way cooler and more respectable. I think a good, meaty, thick Tyrannosaurus would be 100 times more badass than the starving version. I can't look at the arms of these dinosaurs and not just feel that they kinda look stupid. And is it a double standard that it doesn't bother me in Jurassic Park and something like BBC's Walking with Dinosaurs, another favorite thing of mine? Maybe. I mean, both of these were made in the 90s and were, even at the time, somewhat inaccurate, but I feel like made strides to update the way we see dinosaurs in a way the Jurassic World movies don't. The Jurassic Park, and especially Jurassic World movies, aren't very educational. They teach us some things about dinosaurs, but mostly these are focused on being sci-fi adventure movies. Which is fair enough, that's what they are, but I wouldn't mind having a little bit more education in there. Jurassic Park did it a bit, like when Grant terrorizes the child at the beginning. Great stuff, you traumatized that kid, Grant.
Or maybe across the belly, spilling your intestines. The point is, you are alive when they start to eat you.
I'm not insane. You hear me? I'm not insane! Wait!
I think there is value in showing more accurate dinosaurs, other than just personal reasons. These movies are made for children. Adult children like me watch them too, but they're not really aimed at me, as much as they are for children. This is how the billion-dollar Hollywood blockbuster operates, and that's fine. But seeing as they are for children, I think giving them a more modern understanding of dinosaurs in their pop culture would be really cool. We give them the same dinosaurs we got, and the dinosaurs are cool, and I'm sure children like them, but they will grow up with the same understanding we got at the time, which is a bit of a shame. I don't think children should learn about dinosaurs primarily from these movies, but I'm sure when most people think of dinosaurs, they think of Jurassic Park. It's just how it is. I know the children who are interested in dinosaurs will discover what dinosaurs are more accurately like. Hell, it happened to me, and probably a lot of you. But I think it's good to get a head start. In short...
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
Remember when I said there are in-universe reasons for the dinosaurs being the way they are, and how I'd come back to that? Well, I've come back to that. Specifically, I've come back to say that that's cowardly and totally not punk, like Jurassic Park was. Maybe cowardly and punk are words that are too strong. In fact, I say they most likely are, but they are not totally untruthful. The Jurassic World dinosaurs, looking exactly like the Jurassic Park dinosaurs, is logical in the universe and lore of the franchise. But I ask you, which is more important, the lore of Jurassic Park or the spirit of Jurassic Park? because I'd argue it's the spirit. Jurassic Park set out to represent as accurate and believable dinosaurs as they could. They dispelled a lot of the misconceptions people had of dinosaurs and showed how truly marvelous these creatures are. For the first time, dinosaurs felt like real living, breathing animals, not just some movie monsters. They didn't want to trace the same steps that dinosaurs movies before them had, probably in large part because dinosaur movies before Jurassic Park were like Carnosaurus and shit, but also because they had something new and cool to offer. Not only did they take a chance in new technology to bring these creatures to life, but they also looked at as up-to-date information on dinosaurs as you could have asked from them at the time. We learned a lot of new stuff from Jurassic Park, and for the first time, even paleontologists could now look at these fully realized creatures in photoreal fashion. Jurassic Park was punk as hell and ushered in a golden age of dinosaurs. We really wouldn't be where we are without it. Well, when it comes to filming dinosaurs. Jurassic World shows us dinosaurs, but that's it. It shows us the same dinosaurs as Jurassic Park, and the new ones it shows are designed to fit the outdated look of the already established dinosaurs. I mean, look at these baryonyx. It's ridiculous. What is this? And this Allosaurus?
Look how they massacred my boy.
I would like for Jurassic World Dominion to come along and modernize dinosaurs once again, but I don't think that will happen, even if we get the feathers we may be getting. I'm not a naive person, I know why big blockbuster movies are the way they are, and that's what Jurassic World is. Just another blockbuster. I wish it were more, but it isn't. I wish it were punk like Jurassic Park, but it ain't. Basically what I'm saying is, Jurassic Park is the Sex Pistols, and capitalism ruined dinosaurs. Like I mentioned earlier, this isn't an all or nothing thing. I am willing to compromise, even in the face of whatever this is. I can understand the sounds and the non-featheriness. That's important to a lot of people in these movies for some reason, and I respect that, or I at least publicly claim to respect it. But it wouldn't take away from anyone, and it would give me a little bit more peace of mind watching these if they at least rotated their hands. I've played a game called The Isle a bunch. It's a game that takes a lot of inspiration from Jurassic Park in its dinosaur designs, but they have updated them. The dinosaurs still evoke the nostalgia that the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park do, but they are just more comfortable to look at due to some minor touches. They're still not the most accurate, for that you would want to play something like Saurian, but they're something that people could call a happy medium. In an extremely small way, even Jurassic Park did a little better than Jurassic World, at least in the portrayal of raptors. This little mohawk is something, not much, but at least it's a little nod. And for my most controversial Jurassic Park take, and I will stand behind this, Jurassic Park 3 has the best raptors in any Jurassic Park movie to date. They're perhaps not utilized quite as well as in the first Jurassic Park, but they are still just as threatening to me. And in terms of design, it's where the series peaked so far. Let's see about Dominion. Also, the Spinosaurus is cool, even if very, very inaccurate. The modern reconstructions of the Spinosaurus are even cooler. It's a badass dinosaur, and I'm glad it got its moment in the sun. And had a pretty big year last year. Just for a second, I'm going to be positive about Jurassic World. I don't usually like doing videos with a negative outlook, so I will sprinkle in some positivity here at the end. While I feel the justification of why dinosaurs are like this in universe was sort of weak, I still think it's a totally legitimate viewpoint. I wish the movie said more about this, but there is already something there. Their drive for profit steering them away from reality to sensationalism. Even with Jurassic Park aspiring to bring more up-to-date dinosaurs to you, we could look at that from Hammond's point of view. Hammond wanted to show the world dinosaurs. He wanted to give the world something real, accurate, real dinosaurs. Simon Masrani didn't have the same goals. He shared the enthusiasm, but not the thirst for the opportunity to show the world something real. He wanted to take what Hammond had started and see through to the end in terms of a wonderful operational park, not so much the realness of the dinosaurs. And I think looking at it like that, yeah, there's something there. I wish the movies explored that more, or even at all. But that's still something. Also, while outdated, of course I think a lot of these dinosaurs are cool. I got the same nostalgia for Jurassic Park everyone else does. The Tyrannosaurus is still cool. There are things like the hands or the shrink wrapping that look silly to me, but a lot of the times in action, I can ignore it. Like the Joker's damage tattoo. It's not that bad in motion. Wait, this was supposed to be positive. Jurassic World was also the first Jurassic film to give us a Mosasaurus, or any kind of sea creature like it. The Mosasaurus is scaled up to a ridiculous kaiju level size, but hey, it's spectacle I guess. I love seeing sea creatures, although I was wishing for more Mosasaurus action in Fallen Kingdom. The opening sequence was neat, and there's this shot, but that's about it. If Jurassic World Dominion can give us more of that, then that would be great. Thanks.
Jurassic Park. scary in the dark.
I appreciate the Jurassic World movies for what they are. Fun blockbuster movies that a lot of people get joy out of, and I'm glad people do. I think the first Jurassic World is at times fun, the dinosaur mayhem is neat, and the brawl at the end is cool. Fallen Kingdom fell a bit flat for me, but the dinosaur monster house was a really cool idea. And I'd rather have this dinosaur media than no dinosaur media. I'm sure over time we will see more and better depictions of dinosaurs. It's a bit sad that the Jurassic Park franchise can't be the one to do that, but I think it's inevitable anyways. Dinosaurs are something that will forever fascinate people. We'll never get bored of them. And movies also seem like they're not going anywhere in the near future, even if they don't quite have the longevity of dinosaurs. Shortly, before I wrap things up, a few things. Firstly, something I'd like to see more in the future. Interesting speculative biology for dinosaurs. Speculating just what kind of wild shit dinosaurs could have had going on is really popular with paleo artists these days. A lot of artists go super far with it, but hey, it's fun and cool to see. Birds have extra skin and air sacs and wild feather patterns and everything. It's cool to see what artists come up with in speculating what these creatures could have looked like, and I think it would be cool to see motion pictures take these kinds of chances. Jurassic Park did it with the acid-spitting frilled Dilophosaurus, which was cool, but I could do with more. And I guess Fallen Kingdom speculated that Baryonyx has lava-proof skin. There is a higher risk of new information coming out and contradicting these speculations, but with how paleontology works, it's inevitable anyways. Might as well take a swing at it. And hey, we even have some evidence suggesting that the T-Rex stands to get attention of possible mating partners, like many modern birds do. I want to see that in a movie. Behaviors that are not only linked to hunting and killing, but other regular animal stuff. Animals do a lot of stuff, you see. And lastly, I'd like to acknowledge a YouTuber called HoopsAndDinoMan, just for being an inspiration and a fellow dinosaur enthusiast. I'd recommend his videos, The Allure of Vintage Dinosaur Artwork and The Allure of Modern Dinosaur Artwork, which sort of relate to the topic of this video, but in broader paleo art sense. They put into words a lot better than I could what makes even these more outdated looks at dinosaurs have that certain charm and what is, well, the allure of the more modern look at dinosaurs. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe and all that. One like equals one feather on a dinosaur. Let's not leave this baby naked, boys. Do your civic duty. And I'll see you next time. The phrase I say at the end, and goodbye.